what's available to them. And I was also really impressed by Miss Filer, who's kind of the program and activities director, and she's just knows everyone, greets everyone, all the residents are talking to her, and she kind of has the perfect manner of speaking to those people, and you can just tell there's a lot of mutual respect there. So I'm really excited to kind of follow in her footsteps and just get to know all the people there.
And I went to Stepping Stones also with Mandy and Heather, and I was in the infant room also. There's two sides to the infant room though, so Heather was on one side and I was on the other side. And there were 6 kids on my side, and she had like the older infants and I had the younger infants. So these infants, like, some of them could maybe crawl or hold themselves up, but the youngest one was 2 months. And yeah, so he was like a really brand new baby. He's really sweet. All of them were really fun to work with, all the babies, and one of them's name was Liam. And I just said, hi Liam, and he was like over there, like where Brad is, probably not that far away from me. And then, so I just said like, hi Liam, and so he like comes over, he crawls all the way over here. He was one of the ones that could crawl, and I just sat down, and he just like started climbing all over me, and it was the sweetest thing. I was like, that's really cute. And then some of the other ones came over also, so it was.
Okay, I'm Kelsey, and I'm working with infants also, but at the Brook Creek Center. And the first day I went there, and I didn't think I could really interact with the kids or anything because I didn't get my results back from my TB test and all that good stuff. So I just went into the room, and this little 2-month-old started crying that was in front of me, and I didn't know if I could like help her or not. And I just kind of looked at the ladies, and they're like, no, go ahead. And I was like, okay. So that kind of started then. And then when I went back, this other little girl was there, and she would like crawl around and then stop and just stare at me for like 10 minutes, like from the other side of the room, and she like wouldn't move, and they would like call her name, and she would just keep staring at me. But by like the end of the day, she would like come over and, like you said, like crawl all over me and like play with me, and yeah, so that was a cool change to see.
Harrison, I went to West yesterday, holding class, and we read Romeo and Juliet, and it was fun. Like we both got parts, and like some people were like more into it than others, and like the teacher was like, she was like, okay, this is pronounced Montague, and this is Capulet, and if anyone says I'm wrong, I'll be really mad. And so like she was assigning parts, and this one kid was like, can I be Lord Montague? And she was like, what did you say? And he was like, I don't know, it's close enough. And so like, I don't know, it was cool because a lot of the people were like a couple kids like really wanted to be into it, and some were like, when's class over? But like Jake and me got a few parts, so it was fun.
I'm Haley, and I'm at Central in Ms. Friedman's room with Steven. And it's really interesting because it's a drama class, and yesterday it was fun because, how many kids are in there? Like 8? It's a small class. It's a small class, but we each got to go with like a little group and like be in the skit or whatever, and it's just fun because they're really like outgoing and
They're so energetic.
yeah, and your mom's room is pretty sweet too. It's really cool. But I'm also looking forward to. It's kind of the same thing with us. Like if somebody else needs us, we go there. But it's about a student, right?
Yeah.
And he's in 9th grade, and he like speaks fine and everything, but randomly, like the other day in English, I guess, he was like, Miss Friedman, like, I don't know how to write sentences. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're in 9th grade, like, don't you know how to put together a sentence? And he really didn't, like, he has no concept of, like, punctuation or anything. And so she wanted Stephen and I to, like, trade off with him and see if we can, like, work with him one-on-one. And so I think starting Tuesday we're going to do that, and I'm really excited just to see if we can make a difference. And it's interesting. I've never heard that before.
I'm Jesse. I was down in Mr. Severson's room with Bailey, and I think what I really like about it is that going into it, it's something that, like autism, I don't really know very much about, and I'm excited about the chance to sort of be around them and experience it firsthand instead of, hearing about it or, briefly like seeing it in the halls. And so far, it's all the kids in there are really, really cool, and it's interesting to see how they'll have their disabilities, but they are able to function. Like one of them is unable to speak. He has to speak with a little keyboard, but he can read. And his grandma was telling me that like he read the Harry Potter books this summer, and looking at him, you would would never know that he would be able to read unless you were reading with him or doing the activities that we did. And you know, I'm just really excited for the rest of the year to see like how much more I can learn from it.
I'm Jake. I was with Harris. I think it's like a couple of things that like were like hot spots you mentioned earlier were like, so we went with 4 people, it'd be like 4 jobs, like one person would be going to one room, one person would be going to work, or one person would be going to work with kids, like in like the behavior disorder, one person would be going to work where me and Harrison both end up going, and somebody would go do something else, and then one person would be like pulling weeds, which is like obviously like nobody really wants to do that. And I mean, like we want to help, and like not having any of these like experiences that everybody else is talking about, like you don't really grow. Like you obviously like you pull weeds, but you don't really like have personal growth through doing that. So like that's definitely not like hopefully.
And then all of a sudden we were working with a lot of students who had some of the same hopes and dreams, and then we had a couple weeks within it, and people were having some of those experiences, and some of our dreams and hopes and excitements were coming true. And I'm just seeing that, and I'm seeing people smiling, I'm seeing people listening, and I'm seeing people connecting with little 2-year-olds who they had relationships with 4-year-olds, some students with autism, and so some of our dreams are coming true, and planting seeds, and that's pretty exciting to me, and very personal and very real.
Sarah, and I'm in the autism program downstairs with Christina. I don't really know what my favorite part is yet, but I think I'm like what I value most right now is like getting to see like little breakthroughs with them, like Christina said, and also like seeing by the end of the year comparing like the first day compared to the last day and how different the possibility of it is.
We're in a Unitarian Manor, and on my way up there, I was kind of expecting just to meet like a bunch of old, angry, like bitter people, and just kind of put up with it. But when we got there, when we got up there, like every single person that we met was just like nothing but nice to us. And I remember there was this one lady. She was in a wheelchair and she was on her way to the elevator, and I think it was her husband that was with her. And she couldn't really talk because she was like so young and impaired, very. You could just tell like in her eyes she was trying to welcome us. She was like, "It's gonna be nice to see you," and it was just really cool. You're welcome.
I'm Hillary, and I also went to the Presbyterian Manor, and I'm really like excited to like get to know people, but then like with that I'm like afraid I'm gonna like this is bad kind of, but like I'm like gonna get really close with like a few specific people, and then like one of them's gonna like die. Well, they're like older, and like where we're working like is like the people who are like in the most like crucial need for help. So like that's kind of like she like walked me to the elevator, and she was like, so like what like what are you doing here? And I told her, and she's like, oh, you'll just love it here. It's like a great group of people, and like she was also just like knew everybody who walked by, and she was like a resident there.
Alan. And the 5th graders in Mrs. Phelps' class at Schwegler are Matt, Tara, and I graded papers and cut up little pieces of paper for like vocab stuff, because they're doing a lot with like expanding their vocabulary right now. And that's about all we've done. We prepared Friday folders yesterday.
Dating it. Think about also dating it. So you as a